All right. All right. Looks like we just got our stream interrupted. We got the copyright strike on the channel. We can't do no analysis on here. This is why I originally went to Patreon the first time. All right. I went to Patreon because of that. Now, people are like, oh, okay, whatever. Hey, look, I'm going to have to go to Patreon. I am not going to do Instagram. That's just not going to happen. But I'll go to other platforms. I might go to Patreon. I might do that. But they kept me in the middle. They got me thunder. I told you, Hafiz, you were like, why ain't you letting the whole thing go? I told you in the middle of me saying it, they was gonna strike me. You know what I feel about that one? All right, let's continue where we left off. They gonna have to destroy the whole channel. I got one strike. I'm about to get the second one. Now, anyway, where was I? Where was I? All right. So as I was saying throughout this one, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I don't depend on this YouTube channel for my money. This is fair use. So I might have to start putting up the fair use on the screen because World Athletics and all of these other BSers are starting to use some bully power here. And actually, if you guys want to see some of that, that's why I told y'all to actually get the NFT. Not this is not what you think it is. The reason why I'm mentioning NFT is because we're gonna use some of that power on some more legal stuff so that we can do it. Because at this point, this stuff needs to be opened up. I'm not playing a race. That's why I kept interrupting it. This is analysis. This is analysis. The fact that I got this on the screen, they're gonna copyright it because it's just the image. It doesn't have to be the audio. It's the image. This is fair use. Ain't nowhere else that they ain't gonna be able to do it. So if y'all want to support that, just get one of the NFTs because some of that I'm actually gonna dedicate more of that money than I originally would have toward something like this because it's fair use. I'm not here trying to play the whole race or whatever for somebody to see it for free. Y'all got y'all money, the sponsorships, whatever. I'm over here doing some analysis. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce got that. They said they just want the views first. Well, let's do it. They want the views first. We gonna give them the views. I told y'all, World Athletics and the Olympic Committee, they be saying it. They said, don't do it. We about to cover this and do the analysis. There we go. I could have 3 strikes on the channel. I'm gonna let myself get 2 if that's the case. And I'm gonna have to fight back on the other one. This is fair use. We have fair use laws here in the United States. So here we go. They said, now I think this was YouTube automatically detecting it. So let me see something here. Now they were buffering the stream because of how laws are. They can buffer things they don't like. So when you ever go to something and you think, I don't know if this is Flowtac here. I don't think that's the one who actually had it. I think this is actually World Athletics here. But that could have been because I didn't actually look. But it could have been them. But in either case, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to just sling and say, look, this is fair use here. Now, because I had the Olympic Committee, the IOC actually do a copyright claim on me. Okay, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, as I was saying earlier before I was rudely interrupted, she got, her form was looking near perfect. Near perfect form here. This is why I'm interrupting the race. And this is why that other YouTube channel that does all of those productions or whatever, he always goes back and then he puts that music in there. This is to avoid the copyright. This is why people do that. People are like, oh, why don't they just do the race? They go back and they pause for a reason. I think it's more than 2 seconds or whatever. And here we go at 3 that you can't do things. So anyway, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce looking near perfect. In Boma, as you said, Masalinga and Boma, both of them have pulled up. They are working hard. They are trying to break some records, probably trying to match their fitness from last year, do better, and their coach is working them into the ground, as you can see, working them into the ground. Hey, for better or for worse. Does this count as a master's record since it's at altitude? I think for masters, you got to be over 40. Masters, I think, starts at 40. So, or maybe it's 35 and up. Never mind. Yeah, I think to get to the World Masters, I think it's 35 and up. But I think for the pros, I think it's 40 and up. So yeah, if it's at super high altitude, I think they changed it for that. He already beat me to it. AJT. I think they will put an A next to it, but you still can count it as a record if it's too much. Okay, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, like I said, she got near perfect. She's not perfect here. She's near perfect for this time of the season. Hip to pocket. They said, I'm surprised they allow other YouTube channels to show the race uninterrupted. Hafiz said, I think they got an agreement with those channels, and I haven't had an agreement. I haven't reached out. I'm here to do an analysis. This is not like a job. I'm here. I really want to grow the sport of track and field, and I got to be honest. If I get a chance, I'm going to create my own track and field league. So I do applaud World Athletics and everybody else for what they're doing. I do applaud USATF for what they're doing there. I shared a lot of people there my plans and template for a track and field league. And somebody told me before, hey, they copied a lot of this with the track and field league they got in the USA right now. So some people that were very close to me and some of those people, they were like, Nick, I think they took a lot of your ideas. And I was like, I don't think so. I still personally don't think that is. It's like, hey, if anybody can have an idea. But if I have my way with it, and if this NFT is successful in the way that I think, that will be part of what I fund a new track and field league. So yeah, they said Allison got the Masters 400 record last year. Oh, okay, yeah. By the way, Hafiz, thank you for that super chat, $20. Thank you. I would prefer if people go toward the Cash App, because obviously if they strike this one, I think they'll take that too. It doesn't even count. But in any case, and then YouTube takes 40 or 50%. But yeah, any case, Mboma is, I really feel bad for both of them. Like I said, it's not their fault. They were born how they were born. And in my opinion, looking at the data, they should not be competing with the women. But in this case, since they currently are, I kind of feel bad when I see anybody pull up. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce did not lean at all. She ran straight through the line into a slight headwind. And I think that's a plus 2.0 tailwind. It's anywhere between plus 1.5 and 2.0 with the altitude that they got here. I'm going to go over Emanula right here. And let me take them off the screen. But she didn't lift her head up. She didn't break her form. I told y'all, looking at that 200, when she ran at that 150 and then eased it up, she was looking good. And here it is right here. Now, obviously, she went somewhere else where it was easier for her to get a sub 10.7. But in any case, she's at 10.7 mid to maybe, if she tried, depending on where it is, 10.7 mid, because she was running against a headwind, and to even a 10.7 low. Because most races, you're not going to run against a headwind. Yes, it happened at the Olympics. Yes, it happens at some races. But as I said, 0.08 to 1.3 and 1.6 are the most common tailwinds for those top athletic performances that we saw. She broke Adi's Masters M35 record. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that. So I actually have to look at that. Congratulations to her for that one. But yeah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is still setting records, still doing well. That's crazy. Uh-oh, they about to copyright strike me. It's already buffering. So guys, this channel might be gone. But before that happens, let me get to Emanula's race. So I might just have to talk over it because they buffered me right here. They're buffering me. Are you guys still here? Can you hear me? In any case, look. Curly, I thought Curly was about to lose because they had that false start. The fans interrupted or whatever like that. And he didn't, he ran about, what, 40 meters into the race? So he ran 40 meters into the race. It looked like, okay, thank you guys. They said, I feel like, okay, since we're still here, let me just cover on the women's side. Ann said, feel like Javian could have run much faster. Oh, she is Bree Wayne said, why did you get a copyright strike? Man, look, people hating. They don't like fair use. They do not like fair use. All right. But for Javian Oliver, yeah, I think she got a fair start for her. But then after that, she was not looking good. Coco, get down. Did I tell you to get up there? It ain't nothing for you to eat. But yeah, after her start, she just was not there. Not her same way. Maybe it's jet lag. Maybe it's something else. Or maybe Javian had the same, quote, stomach cramps that Lamont Jacobs got. Let's get over to the men real quick. Lamont Jacobs had stomach cramps. So wait a minute. Here goes Scaredy Cat Jacobs. Now, I actually thought Jacobs would be the least likely, if anybody, to pull out of a race or something. I thought he was going to be one of the guys that he wouldn't pull out of races. Now I'm thinking that Prefontaine race, he's going to be the likely one, the Scaredy Cat right there. Even though he beat Coleman before, he's looking at Coleman like, okay, he ran a 4x4, 45 something. He just ran that 200 and he looked smooth, doing 19.9 X. If he runs against me in a 100, even if it's going to be a season opener, he might beat me, and that'll get him motivation on how to beat me later on. So Jacobs, I don't know. If y'all believe that was food poisoning, they said Flow Boys are unbiased. This is why I stopped, or our bias is probably what you said, why I stopped watching them. Yeah, Dina Lee. Yeah, every news platform got a bias. I mean, NBC, they're biased for the U.S. athlete all the time. They focus on U.S. athletes every time they do a coverage or a headline, most of the time when it's a U.S. athlete there. So, everybody's understandable. Flow Track, they got their lane here. They got their lane. It's USA versus Jamaica. That's their thing when you go to them. It's USA versus Jamaica. Anytime they could put that up, it's USA. Even to the point where they focused on the 800 and they were putting Natoya Gould and propped her up higher than they did the world indoor champion in Ajay Wilson. They wanted the USA versus Jamaica thing so much that even though Natoya Gould did do well in that race and was second, they talked her up as if she had medals over Ajay Wilson. And Ajay Wilson actually got that. So that's Flow Track. They got their own lane. That's what, when you go to Flow Track, you're going to expect to hear America pumping the drums for America, even if they don't got a chance to win. Okay, cool. You know what you get with them, right? And then USA versus Jamaica. That's what they do. That's where their bread and butter, their money is. And the Mommy Rocket for this one, if they're going to put that up there, they know what they're going to make their money off of. That's their thing. I don't got to worry about where I'm making money from. So I don't have to have a necessary bias, even though I like to have some every once in a while. So they said Coleman's running tomorrow in Tokyo, I think. Yeah, I'm going to cover Tokyo right after. They said, wasn't Jacobs added late after the lineup was named? I don't think he was scared. And I think you do have a point. He was not originally on that list. I think it was just Fred Curley was the person that was there. And then maybe Jacobs was trying to get a race in before Prefontaine. They said, she is Bree Wayne. No food poisoning, just trying to save his brand. He wasn't ready. Exactly. Nicole said, I'm wondering if the Continental Tour is paying her a better fee. Last season, after the Olympics, she did more Continental Tours than Diamond League. Yeah, so I think the word on the street was because Diamond League was not giving an appearance fee for the championship final, which makes sense. It's the championship final. They shouldn't have to pay an athlete an appearance fee. And for my league, I wouldn't be giving an appearance fee either. That just kind of makes sense. But for the Continental Tour, that one doesn't necessarily seem to be necessarily a league per se where you add up points and then you have a championship round. It's more like it's open and you score points as you go through, and then you get, you know, you win at the meet or whatever. So yeah, they said Shelly Pocket Rocket. He said biased, or Dina said biased. Albert said I love, and I'm gonna read your comments, and then I'm gonna get King, and then I'm gonna get to the men. They said King Naldo said Jacob's PMS. They said hurry and show the Shelly race. She just put the world on notice. Yeah, I did, Albert, at the beginning. And then he continued with, I love how such girl claims she ran 1068 in training, and then Shelly ran 1067. Oh yeah, you probably talking about Richardson. Of course, Richardson pulled back on this one. Dina said they want beef, but sometimes they overdo it. Yeah, I mean, they trying to do what they can. They trying to do it. I think they should have just done the matchup thing. It was perfect. Aji Wilson, let me get to that real quick. Aji Wilson, the American record holder in the 600 versus Olympic champ. The American record holder, indoor world champion in the 800 versus the Olympic champion in the 800 and American record holder. Like, that is a headline right there. Like, all of those, they could have pumped that one up. Some things are just easy. Yes, Aji Wilson has not been back to her 2017 form in some years. Something happened, who knows? But some of those records were set in 2018. 2017 was her height, quote unquote, and then 2018, and she carried a little at 2019, and she hasn't been herself since then. But hey, it is what it is. They said, where can I stream the Tokyo meet tomorrow? Let me see. Hopefully, World Athletics don't flag me for this one. I'm about to put their link up real quick. Here's where you could stream it right here. World Athletics, chill out. Chill out. Here it is. It tells you where you can find it, where to watch it. Here it is on screen. And then if you go down to below Tokyo, it shows where to watch the Seiko Golden Grand Prix right here. And this is right here tomorrow. And they'll show you which countries are banned for you to put on, I guess, a VPN or something if you really want to watch it that bad. Or you could just watch it on Flow Sports and pay them their $10 or $20 fee or whatever that fee is for that. But yeah, that's where that is. I just wanted to put that up on the screen. Let me leave it up here right now. Let me finish off the last comments and then get back to this. They said she did a random meet in Poland last year at the end of the season with barely any other top athletes because they offered a high appearance fee. Yeah, they had dang it, what's her name from Kambunji? There we go. Kambunji, I think, was the biggest name athlete that was in the field. And then they said, the Francois said, could be food poisoning. Sometimes it takes time to adjust to new food. Could also be a convenient excuse. Man, look, my man's is in Europe. He lives in Europe. Head and Shoulders, I'll give the link real quick. World Athletics. And I took that personally. Oh, yeah. So, thank you. If you share that link. Thank you. And, yeah. So, let me cover the men real quick before they cut the stream yet again. Here we go. I'm about to get my second. This is my battle. Oh, they already buffering me. As soon as I put this back on the stream. If y'all see the side on here, it says YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. So, as soon as I'm about to come here, they're buffering me. But here we go. I think this is after the... Yeah, this is after the false start. Man, Mike Rogers and everything. I told y'all I was going to do a stream or at least something dedicated to him. Let me try to do something before he pulls up. Man, the man's getting up there in age. He runs so many races every year. Let me honor him. I think I'm Facebook friends with him, Pageant, and some other people. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know me from white on rice. He wouldn't even recognize it, but... I want to honor the people that's there that do that. Even if he's not the top tier athlete that people always want to point out, he's the face of track and field as far as like, man, he's been doing it for so long. Just like Justin Gatlin, for better or for worse, where people feel on him. Let me pause this again. Oh yeah, they got the president of Kenya out in the stands too. They said no hate or shade, but I don't think Jacob's gonna win championship this year. The way it might look, it might not look like that, but that's how Usain Bolt was. He was dodging people left and right, and he still did. They said Lamont didn't travel. LOL, that's just an excuse. The Frequa said, all right, come on. They said, Kumo said, I don't think so either. I still see him medaling though. Yeah, I think it's hard to say that he won't medal. Let me put this up in here. I might have to miss the very start. Oh, here it is. Come on. Set. Boom. There we go. All right. Now, right here, Amandula said if he get a start, he beating everybody. He was confident that Curly couldn't come back on him. Now, Curly ran about 40 meters of 30, I think 30 probably. 30 hard and then 40 or something like that of the last race. And I was like, man, I hope they get enough rest. But that might have done him in. That might have done him in here. But I got to still say that Ferdinand was doing his thing. He's out. Curly's right there even. So this might have came down to the fatigue of him doing that 30 meters or 40 meters hard. This might have came in fatigue. They say I had faith in Bolt because I watched him several times back then. If Coleman gets anywhere close to his 2019 form, it's a lock for him though. They say I hope Rommel medals. Yeah, man, man, Ferdinand over here. Ferdinand got a very interesting stride. I will say that. But Ferdinand to me has an interesting stride, and not to replay this too many times. Okay. He's a very power-packed athlete. Looking next to Curly. Curly's turnover, obviously, slow, weighted down. He's much taller, bigger. Let me take this off the screen. They just okay, they just stopped my stream. Uh-oh, they buffering. Do you guys hear me? Do you guys hear me? They about to take, they said, yeah, messed up momentum, but it is what it is. All right. Am I still on? Am I still live? Okay, I think I am. So anyway, look, let me just cover this. Ferdinand, they had the whole president out there. Ferdinand's lower body mechanics remind me of Nesta Carter. There you go. I think that's the accurate right here. Hopefully they allow me to play this. Man, the whole stadium went wild here. The whole stadium, man, I was going wild with them too. And I got somebody that was on the ground there. But unfortunately their phone and stuff died and whatnot. So yeah. Here we go. Ferdinand, this outfit right here, I gotta say, this is a nice outfit. He got the straps on there. I was like, when I saw the outfit, I'm like, wait a minute. The whole Kenyan president, they about to give him yeah, they said, yeah, our president is pro-athletic. Look, they about to give him a whole other car. So she is Bree Wayne. You from Kenya? Hey, look, if you're from Kenya, man, email me. I might have to have you on the ground for me for some of the track meets out there, because I really want to transfer to Kenya to train some athletes out there too, because I think they should be way better in the sprints. They should be way better in the sprints out there. But yeah, you may, if you want to be another on the ground person, definitely email me at HeadAndShouldersATR@yahoo.com, because I could use another person on the ground in Kenya. But yeah, which world record going down? Women's 100 maybe, men's staying untouched. It may go. Let me see. Time will tell. No era. I don't think it's worth it to show their video. Yeah, it might not be worth it right now. But they out here, man, they had a whole field day out here. They got the Ethiopian representative coming. They got the little machine gun thing right here, the plastic machine gun. Man, they was going crazy out there in there. But I gotta say, this outfit, I will play this. I'm gonna have to get that. Oh, you said, well, I moved to the USA. Dang it, man. Dang it, man. I'll pay you to go back over there and stay in Kenya. But look, that outfit right there. Shoot, you moved over to the USA. They said, no, guys, context. The live is about Shelly-Ann, so the world record must be for the women's 100. But yeah, anyway, let me put this back on the screen here. Y'all, this was a good meet. If y'all can see it, somebody dropped the link here. You said you can't hear anything. Oh yeah, I stopped the audio because if I put the audio there, they're gonna copyright strike me for sure. If I leave the video, it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit longer. Unless y'all talking about y'all couldn't hear me. How much did the altitude contribute to her time? Joel Thomas, I think the altitude. This is the height we want to see in track and field. Nicole said. I think the altitude contributed probably 1/10 of a second to her time. I think it was 1/10 of a second to her time. If everything was remaining equal with the same headwind, that would have been like a 10.77, maybe 10.76, just depending on how that was. Based on the research that I looked at. It was anywhere from there. I think the fastest she could have ran in that same exact circumstance, but with no altitude or at sea level, would have been a 10.74. 10.74 is what I look at. They said, well, altitude, yeah, but she ran into a headwind. While I understand that U.S. athletes got to run a lot to make money, I think Fred Curley is running too much this season, and Trayvon needs to slow down too because he rarely peaks at the right time. Okay, Nutty Drop. I'm not going to say anything on that name. That's a very questionable name, but Nutty Drop. Okay, here's the thing that we got to put into context. Not that the USA athletes have to run a lot to make money. It's more like the USA athletes. I'm going to put Richardson up here real quick. The USA athletes run to make money to pay the bills. I'm going to reveal something here that I just said to other people yesterday. I pay about $33,000 to $36,000 strictly just for living. Where I stay, and right now currently I'm in Houston. I pay $33,000 to $36,000 per year just for cost of living. That's not including food, washing my clothes, water, nothing. That's none of that. That's just basic. If you say rent or whatever, right? So if they said, please take her pick down, come on now. If you look at it from that perspective, think about. Now, I understand some people, the median income in the U.S. is about $45,000, $44,000. So that's not much different. That's a lot more than a lot of people make, right, per year. Now, if you think about some of these athletes, some of them, they're racing so they could pay just their rent. They're racing so they could pay their coaches. They're racing so that they could pay their travel expenses, their chiropractors, their mental health therapists, and all of that. They're not living in a place where it's cheaper. Jamaica is cheaper to live. Nigeria is cheaper to live. Kenya is cheaper to live. And especially if these athletes stay in those locations. Hafiz said, I'm in Houston. Oh, nice. I found a lot of people are in Houston. So I put Richardson up here because she got to get her money. She's from Dallas. So depending on where she lives and stays now, well, then there you go. Brianna, does she live in Jamaica or does she still stay in the U.S.? To my knowledge, she still stays in the U.S. So Brianna Williams will have to make a little bit more money, depending on where she lives, to just make her living expenses. So that's the context of USA athletes having to, quote, race to make money. Some of it is competition, and some of it's not. Hafiz said, hold up now, Jamaica ain't that cheap. Now, Hafiz, from my perspective of somebody in the U.S. making the money I'm making, I got to put it that way. Just like when Donald Trump said a small loan of $1 million. I completely understood it. I was like, yes, from a business perspective, that is small. I just blew through $500,000 on a lost project. Okay. And then one of the investors, and he contributed about $90,000. He said, don't worry about it. We always got another project. That's what it was. So from my perspective, It is cheap, right? From that perspective, that's why I understand. So I look at Jamaica as cheap compared to some of the places in the U.S. But I will admit that some places in Jamaica, it'll be like, damn, are you in Chicago? That's what I'll look at. Let me read some of the comments. Cuomo said, bruh, I read such a disrespectful comment about sha'carri yesterday. When they said sha'carri pulled out the race, they said her dad should have pulled out. I almost ruptured my lungs after that comment. Now, that one, I understand that is somewhat that's mad disrespectful. That's somewhat humorous. I gotta admit, that's somewhat humorous, but it's not like sha'carri has done anything other than some comments, some jokes. Yeah, that I wouldn't have went there. That's uncalled for. Just like when Kitten Heels Kevin Samuels, and we call him Kitten Heels because he literally wore kitten heels and whatnot. But Kevin Samuels, this guy died. He didn't bring in any. I personally did not co-sign with a lot of things that he said, especially white supremacist stuff. But they're saying all types of stuff against him. That's them coming after black men, and I don't really get down with that. But let me get back on topic here. Let me see. Brianna looked well, and she was recovering from a hamstring niggle. Hafiz said, Jamaica is expensive if you're on Jamaica salary, but if you're making US dollars, you're fine. Yeah, Thunder Juice, that's what it was. Yeah. It's cheap when you're making USA salaries. When you're in Europe running these races. If you go to USA and Europe and you run a lot of track meets, which is where most athletes go to anyway. Europe is where the money making is. Even USA athletes go out there. So if you make European euros or US dollars in the US for Jamaica athletes, you're doing perfectly fine. You might not even be a sponsor athlete that much. You might have low sponsorship money, and you just get races where you finish second, third, fourth, and you just run a decent amount of them. Imagine running the amount of races Mike Rogers runs, and you just getting second, third, fourth. You could pay your freaking everything. That's what Kenya athletes do in the marathon, in the 5K and 10K road races. Some of them run multiple marathons, more than just one or two, and they finish in third, fourth, second, and they making a whole living in Kenya. So let me continue this. I'm going to read all of your comments here and then end it off. Let me see. Cuomo said, that was me and I regret nothing. Thunder Juice said, okay. The Francois said, it's nice to see African sprinters doing well. It would be nice to have an African world champ. I love a global event. Yeah, the Francois, I completely agree. If I would not be upset if we see an African nation finally get the 100 on either the women or the men's side. I really am surprised. I'm really surprised West Africa hasn't had an individual open 100 or 200 meter champion. I am 100% surprised, and partially surprised about South Africa. South Africa has some great sprinters. Matter of fact, what didn't we just see a South African we just saw a South African 800 meter athlete. I think Athene Mo and Hodgkinson better be on watch, because that athlete, she just went from 201 to 158 at altitude, and she was clapping, breathing easy and everything at altitude. So I'm like, they got to watch out. But anyway, Panish said a 9.6 is not happening this season, bro. Mid 9.7. I can see that. Albert said, what's the problem with us having faith in our favorite athlete? That doesn't mean we are underestimating Elaine, but Shelly can win. Yeah, Shelly-Ann definitely can win. Elaine is not unbeatable. She doesn't have that dominance. Let me go here. Nutty Drop said, while I understand the U.S. athletes got to run more to pay bills, I do think part of why they do run so much is because their coaches, management, booking agents, etc., want to make money off their backs. Well, yes, I do agree with that too. The culture of the United States is that we are focused on money, and that's just the culture of the West. The USA just has more money to go around. The culture of the West and the culture of many nations, because most westernized culture and mindset has been exported everywhere. When I went to places in Africa, I saw the whole thing there as well. So it's everywhere. They're buffering me again. Um, you again, we never see eye to eye. The comment that had me rolling the laughter was when some guy said her pullout game is better than mine. Now that was funny, Albert. The Francois said net Kevin getting a shout out. Yeah, I really don't go down with that one. Andrew said, I want to see her pull herself together and make a comeback. Panice said, Shelly impressed me. I was very impressed. Even in altitude contributed to it. That I think would still be a 10-7-5 season opener, and altitude wasn't a factor. Then sheesh, that woman is moving. Thunder Juice. Cuomo said, you're a menace to society. Someone said Fred is running too much this season. I disagree. He just competes here and there. I mean, he only ran 100 once before today. His 400 season opener was a while ago. Panesh said, and I got 3 more comments to say, and then I'm going to move on. Joel Thomas said, we already know you are a Shelly fan, Albert. I think the whole world knows that, but the audacity of giving her the title already is bizarre. Most persons in Jamaica behave as if Elaine Thompson Hero is second fiddle to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Joel, on that note, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the most decorated 100-meter female athletes we have ever seen. To ever bet against her on any given year, including last year, it's just kind of playing folly, to be honest. It's like, if you want to lose money real easy, just go ahead and bet against Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Year over year, she's proven. Year over year, she's proven. It's like going against Usain Bolt. He's a championship runner, in my opinion. He really saved himself throughout the year. He was injury prone. So him running a whole bunch of races throughout the year, it wasn't the best thing for him. But he showed up at the championship. No matter how he looked throughout the year, except for his last year, and I believe that was because he just wasn't training to the point where he could have. Too many people around him died. He wasn't focused. He was just done. So that's where that was. They said West Africa has completely underperformed investment yields results. That is Nigeria's Delta State. Yeah, the Francois on that one. And then Cuomo, we did have a sprint world champion, Wade Van Niekerk, for the 400, but I know you guys are talking about the short sprints. We had champions for the short sprints, but at youths and juniors. Now, I will say this. Now, that's why I moved on from here. Those are the last 2 comments that I'm going to go here. As far as West Africa, they have completely fumbled the ball financially and in track athletics. Because if many of this is why I say foundational Black Americans too. There were Black people here already. If many of the descendants of the slaves came from West African countries primarily, you would think sharing some of the same genes, although the genes separated after a while. That's why people become cousins, distant cousins, and whatever. You would think they would have some jets here. They will have some jets. But that doesn't necessarily follow through, because many of the indigenous Black people would have migrated over from East Africa as well. So that's where it's a mix here. And I think that's why we see faster times here in the USA, Jamaica, and the islands than we do in West and East Africa, because there are just, the gene pool is just different. But West Africa has underperformed, in my opinion. They should really have been having people before Ophelia and other people. But it's the training. It's the environment too. If y'all talking about Nigeria, man, the president over there is, I hate to say this on a public platform, especially as I would travel to Nigeria, but I got to say it. The president over there is literally doing the bidding of the United Kingdom and Britain and really making the people suffer for no reason. So they're busy over there trying to survive rather than to run and to make money with that. I see y'all over here debating about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce stumbling and everything. And here they said Elaine was celebrating with 10 meters to go. Yeah, her whole thing was she stumbled at the 3rd step in Tokyo. her whole acceleration was done. It's not like she was Usain Bolt where he could accelerate on people. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is her start. She can maybe maintain now at the end, but she's not a person that's closing down on people like that. That's not that. So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is her start. But in any case, let's go ahead. Thank you guys for coming out. They said the Francois said, just say it, our president is a walking corpse. Hey, look, I'm not a national from Nigeria, so I could get banned. And I got a lot of business that I do over there with clothing makers, farm related stuff that I'm trying to do. So I don't in real estate where y'all keep inflating y'all price of living, where y'all pay y'all rent a whole year in advance. So I'm not trying to like put too much out there, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not, if I don't back down from the white supremacists, I'm not going to back down from that. It is what it is. I'll indirectly do business if I have to. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming out. I will see you guys tomorrow after the Tokyo coverage. I'm going to do the whole meet. Today, I did not do the entire meet. Thank you for coming out, everybody. Daryl Richardson. Yeah, you said Derebe will go sub 355 and a 1500 this year. I'm going to keep that as note. Sorry about not getting to your comment earlier, but thank you guys for showing up. And by the way, support the channel. Go to trackstars.io. They just tried to hate on us today. They put us with a copyright strike. That was very quick. We started buffering in the middle of it, and they said middle finger to the stream. So, like I said, support us. Oh, wait a minute. I put Stacey Ann Williams back on the screen for some reason. That was the wrong button. But definitely head over to trackstars.io. Like, for real. If you guys can support us here, that would really do a lot of good things for us, because that will fund some of the if we need lawyers, that's going to fund that. If we need that. And each one of these, they cost between about $120 to $150. Everybody, if you get one and tell another person to get one right here, we will be able to sell out. And you guys are eligible for up to about $175,000 worth of prizes. Go to crypto, go on crypto.com, install that app, buy Solana, buy $10 more than you need because it's fees here. Buy $10 more than you need, send it over to Phantom Wallet. Because when it says Connect Wallet, it'll show Phantom, Soulflare, Net. Phantom is the best one. And then send it over there. And I just implore you guys to buy one of these because that'll help the project. We got some stuff going until May 18th. If you get it after May 18th, you don't get eligible for any of the bonuses. You get voting rights. So if you guys want to see some things done with track and field, you actually have some voting rights within some of the projects that I'm doing. And I do appreciate you guys coming out here. But yeah, I will be doing the commentary tomorrow. Hafiz, thank you for coming out. He said thank you for continued coverage. We'll definitely be here for Worlds. They said, are you going to post on your other channels? And said yes. I'm building up a team. Part of that will be funded from this NFT. So I got to be honest, I'm focusing on the NFT so hard now because if I get this to do well, I'm going to be hiring people from that. I don't want to try to dip into my own pockets. I'm only one person, and I got to be honest, I'm running like about 6 businesses right now. So I really am kind of up to my limit on what I'm doing. I'm trying to run I'm running a platform that's actively improving the continent of Africa right now. So that's all I can say on that. That's all I can say on that. But there's something actively improving the continent of Africa right now. We just got 2 people hired for some jobs out there, and I barely got anybody on that. I haven't even publicized it here. I haven't put it anywhere. We got some things going on in the United States. I'm trying to work on some things in Jamaica. So I'm only one person, and my primary things, and especially where I make a lot of my money and what I'm doing, is outside of that. But if you guys want to see some more on the other YouTube channels, definitely support trackstars.io, because really all of that comes together with that. So Stan on Twitter said, very much more talented and athletically gifted. Richard Hill said, thank you for the commentary. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out. I'll catch you all tomorrow.